Happy early Thanksgiving. We have a short show today. I hope you guys are ready because we got Dr. Aaron Chapa in studio. Dr. Chapa, how are you doing?
I'm lovely, sir. How are y'all today?
We're doing good. Just checking levels, making sure everything's ready to go. Good morning, everybody. So today's show is only until 9:30, and then we're going to take a quick vacation for the rest of the week. We're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving early here at KHEA Radio, and we'll be back. Gardy and I will be back on Monday. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Dr. Chapa, how are you doing today?
I'm great, dude. And I am excited, too. This is a great week of Thanksgiving, and Lord knows I'm thankful. Tell you what, it's been an amazing year so far. I can't believe it's already the end of the year. I mean, what's up with that? And so anyway, I'm glad everybody's tuning in. We got a little treat for my boys in the studio this morning.
We got a treat?
We do. We have a treat. We are going to be rocking out with some Dandy Blend here in a bit. Figured it was a chill morning. What I like to do whenever it is chilly in the mornings is I start my morning with some herbal, uncaffeinated.
You're fine. Yeah, we're not over the FM yet.
Caffeine-free coffee. Man, that was loud in my ears.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I should turn down.
I was like, whoa. That was
you never know what to expect.
That was pretty amazing.
Today. 20 seconds. We got 20 seconds and then we'll go on over the FM.
All right, so here we go.
Ethan's here as well. Gardy's on assignment right now. All right, we got 5 seconds. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio and KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. It is Tuesday, November 20th, and my name is Curt.
I'm Ethan.
And Ethan is in studio. We got intern Ethan, and we got Dr. Aaron Chapa for our Chapa Talk.
On all things nutrition, all things health and wellness.
Gardy is right now on assignment for the day, so he is out and about. But we're still going to have our show today. We do have a quick short show today. We're only on until about 9:30 today. So if you are just tuning in, thank you so much for listening today. Dr. Chapa, first of all, happy early Thanksgiving to you.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you too. How are y'all this fine morning? Is life kicking on Kickstart Radio?
Yes, we're kicking it. We're doing good. We shouldn't tell you what we did yesterday. Maybe had a 5-pound cinnamon roll and maybe some cake balls, but it's beside the point.
Well,
it was our birthday, so we had to celebrate a little bit, right?
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. There's always a price to pay, though, sometimes, depending on how much you ate. Hopefully, it was in moderation.
It was. I only had 1 pound of the cinnamon roll.
Well, 1 pound. Yeah, that's moderation. That's crazy. So the 1 year, can you believe 1 year has already come? So what does that feel like?
For us, we're really excited. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, that we're excited for what year 2 is going to bring. We're excited for what's going to happen in year 2. I feel like somebody told us last week, they're like, you know what? You're going to go beyond being just a Lamarck radio station. You're going to be a Texas radio station. And I was like, yes, especially with Dr. Aaron Chapa coming in every Tuesday.
Well, hey, I like that idea. And I am excited too, because, I really feel like we all have a message, and it's exciting to have a station like this that is, a good, positive kickstart to everybody's morning. It's exciting for people to be able to tune in and see some of the crazy things that you and Gardy are up to. I know all my patients that come in and say they listen to the show, they absolutely dig what you guys are doing, and you guys are y'all got a special thing brewing. It's pretty awesome.
It is weird being in the captain's chair today. I feel like this is just like Gardy's chair. He does it really well. Like I said, he's on assignment. So let's get to it. You guys have some stuff for us to try today.
Well, yeah, I do. So, it's a cold Well, it's cold. It's chilly morning. And, this time of year, people always are looking for warm drinks to be starting the morning with. A lot of people reach to coffee. Some people don't like coffee. Some people want to get off caffeine. And so we always are looking for alternatives and giving people options. So my name is Dr. Aaron Chapa. I own Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and we give people alternatives to drugs and surgery. We believe all life starts and stops at the cellular level. And we believe nutrition is your fundamental backbone that allows your body to drive your health forward, upward, goodward, and Godward, and or possibly, heaven forbid, you choose enough wrong foods that you can inflame your body, cause your body to age faster than it's supposed to. So, starting your day, Kickstart. Think about it. You kickstart your day. Whenever I've been talking the previous weeks, we always start our day right. If you start your day right, a lot of times you'll end your day right. And you have a higher percentage chance of getting better results with your health, your wellness, your productivity goals when you start your day right. And so I want people to give them options to start their day right. So today we're starting our day not only with good conversation, but we're also going to start our day with here in the studio with some Dandy Blend. So I always start my morning with 40 ounces of water. So I've already had that this morning. Believe it or not, it's only 8:41. How much water have you had? How much water do you need? 32 ounces per 50 pounds of body weight.
I had a 16-ounce water bottle already, so I'm on the right track.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Not
and that's
40.
That's okay, but everybody starts somewhere. My wife got all excited the other day, and she says, Aaron, I got all my water in for the day. And I said, that's awesome. And she goes, what does that mean? I said, that means you get to do it again tomorrow. And it's kind of like
I want the prize.
I want the prize. The prize is vitality and health. So, all right. So here we're doing. So what we're going to take this morning is a substance called dandelion root. It's Dandy Blend is what we call it here in the office. We sell this at office, and it's chicory root. It is gluten free. It is an herbal version of coffee that I use for a lot of patients, and a lot of patients use. It tastes fantastic if you've developed that bitter palate. Since knowing my boys over here might not quite have that bitter palate, just in case, I brought them some almond milk. Yeah, what are you going to say?
I'm working on it. I
heard.
Okay, so
tell me
last
about that.
week I went in and I got some echinacea. I got some Allerplex and some echinacea, and I've been making people try it.
Is that you love the expressions that people give you?
I feel awful because they start to cry. Like literally yesterday. So Paloma from Moore Memorial Public Library was in here, and I was like, "Oh, let's do echinacea shots." And
it's shocking.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was like, oh my gosh, I just made somebody cry. Like I felt so bad.
Well, so sometimes, on the echinacea, it's such a powerful herb that you should and could take it every day. It's great for your brain. It's great for your nervous system. It's great for your circulatory system. It's great for your immune system. It's great for every tissue, cell, organ, gland in the body to wake it up. I use it sometimes as you can do it as a mouth rinse. So before you swallow it, swish it around, and it will clean up your any infections in your mouth. I love it, dude. You're already
that bottle is like halfway empty.
I mean, you are like chugging that stuff, and it's so good for you that people should be taking it every day. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
I felt so bad for Paloma.
You have to give people.
I hope she
forgives
comes back.
you. Yeah,
like
she's like, that guy was like jerk.
I know, like I'm never coming on KHEA radio again. Ever again.
All right, well, let's get after this stuff. So Dandy Blend is dandelion. So look, you've all seen dandelions floating around. If you look on the cover of that label there, it's got a big old beautiful yellow flower. That is dandelion. Now, I probably wouldn't pick dandelions next to a garbage can and blend it up, but you can definitely find in fields that haven't been sprayed with pesticide and everything else, dandelions, and it's the same stuff. And there's all kinds of different, fun treats. So what we're going to make this morning is I got some cinnamon, I got some vanilla, I got a little unsweetened almond milk, and then the Dandy Blend, and we're going to make our versions of healthy lattes.
So I'm reading this. There's no caffeine in it, though.
There is no caffeine. It's a coffee substitute whenever you want that warm feeling in the morning. And so if you're addicted to caffeine, we just say that we want to get your body so strong that you don't need rocket fuel to start off your day. So I got the big C cup right here, and you guys get my special Disney cups. There you go. Hand those over.
What?
Yep. So
Is there stuff in it?
Oh yeah, I've already put. Oh, I didn't put the cinnamon, vanilla, or stevia in there yet because I want y'all to do your own. Because everybody likes their different things. So I've been, doing this now for a little while, and so I like mine pretty bitter. And there should be enough for all of us. Don't fill it up to the top though. Here you go.
Okay.
Because you want to leave a little room for your almond milk. And but this is going to be our fun little treat. And when you look at it, tell me what you see as you make it, because the studio audience isn't going to be able to see it like we can see it here. And it sounds cool on the radio.
On the radio, yeah.
Like I love that sound.
All right,
Kurt, don't spill it.
Yeah,
I'm
Kurt,
trying not
don't
to.
spill it, especially on.
It's hot.
Don't spill it on the controls there. Gardy will not be happy about that.
That would be the one thing that would get me fired.
Yeah, I'm sure you would never be in the captain's chair again.
So here's a quick statement. Thank you, I think I'm saying this right. Theta says, so I didn't win yesterday. The ice cream, I think, was what she was trying. But you guys are rather entertaining, so I came back for more. But do we really need to know how to eat healthy for Thanksgiving? I mean,
absolutely.
I've been training to eat this meal since summer.
So here, check it out. So it's not about not enjoying. I'm going to enjoy myself on Thanksgiving. But what I'm going to tell you is there are little tricks of the trade. And so when you think about Thanksgiving, or you think about any number of meals you eat in a week, so look at your average meals that you eat per day, and you multiply that by 7. That's about how much meals that a person eats. So you could be consuming approximately 35 meals a week. So do you need to eat bad, high sugary foods, high processed foods all week long? Or can you just enjoy Thursday, Friday, in the weekend, this year? And so I love the sentiment about, do we need to eat healthy? I'm going to say absolutely, because you don't want to be in a carb coma on the backside of Thanksgiving and be sleeping off your friends, relationships, loved ones' time. That's just stevia. So stevia is a 2,000-year-old Peruvian herb. It is not an artificial sugar. It is a plant, and it happens to taste sweet.
Yeah, Leslie says, is stevia okay sweetener to use? And I think you've said in the past, it's the best.
It is. Yeah.
How many drops?
I would only do 1 or 2 because it's always easier to add to it. You can't take away from it. Or you can do 20. If that's what you want to do. There you go. You got to love Kurt. He just goes for the gusto.
Oh, did you meant like 2 drops? Like drop?
Yep. But okay.
It's
it'll be interesting. I don't know. But hey, you like C4 and bananas. So, I mean, you'll be fine. I don't actually put any stevia in mine. I like, again, bitter. I use the unsweetened vanilla almond milk.
This, right?
And then, I put just a little bit of that in there just to kind of make it look like a frappuccino
and then you
on top.
Stir it, right?
You don't even need to stir it. I mean, it's ready to roll. Go ahead.
I'm so glad that Kurt's putting all his ingredients first, because then I can just learn from his mistakes.
Yeah, well, they say wise people learn from their own mistakes, but they say geniuses learn from the mistakes of others. So, Ethan, you can be a genius this morning.
Just today.
Just today.
Here's your almond milk. Okay, so you don't stir it, and then we're gonna try this. Are you ready? Can we try this together, Ethan?
Y'all should totally try this together.
Can they see you? No. All right.
I'm scared.
So we're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. He has an office in League City right off of Main Street, 517 Main Street, right?
That's right. 815 East Main Street.
815. That's right.
Yeah, League City, Texas, 77573 is our area. And so, we got a couple things going on, coming up here in the next month that I wanted to talk about. Is we have some giveaways as well that we're going to be launching out, some gift cards to our office. And we also have our Detox 101 class. We're going to launch that come December. And so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very exciting time. We're going to be talking about detoxification in the new year. We're not going to be detoxing in December, though, Thea, I promise. But we want to start prepping your mind, because we want to get you ready for January, whenever you are ready to detox and cleanse out, the yesteryear, so to speak.
And then the big detox is in January, right?
That's right.
How many days are you doing in January? 21?
So 21 is the baseline goal. Obviously, we'll meet you where you're at. We have 7-day, 10-day, 14-day, 21-day, and 28-day detox programs. So, I just got back from North Carolina, and we went to the research and development facility for Standard Process, and they're one of the vendors that I use in the office. It's a whole food-based nutrition company where they too, believe that it all starts with food, and food is your medicine, whether you want to believe it or not. And the food supply in America we're laden with processed foods. We're laden with, junk food, candies, cakes, cookies. I mean, all the stuff we're going to be eating this week. Or that people are eating this week, or that you guys happened to eat yesterday. It's everywhere. There's celebrations, there's parties, there's always reason to eat things that aren't necessarily good for your body. Like nothing below our taste buds wants sugar, nothing. And so if we can teach you how to find better treats for your family, whether they're keto treats, whether they are gluten-free treats, whether they're dairy-free. Man, there's so many things out there today that wasn't around 13 years ago that will tickle your taste buds and make you feel like you're getting a fun experience.
I love the term tickle your taste buds. Because right now, we're trying this Dandy blend, which is basically a coffee substitute. It's hot. It's awesome.
It tastes good, right?
It tastes really good.
It's not bad. And so
I don't know if it's because of like the cinnamon and the vanilla and the sweetener.
So you grow so when I first did my first Dandy blend, I didn't really understand what it was, but see what dandelion does. Let me tell you some of the therapeutics about it. It stimulates your liver. It stimulates your lymphatics. So you've heard me say in the past, the liver's the giver. The more you take care of your liver, the more your body can process out junk foods that you're getting into, or processed oils that people are cooking with that are feeding you. And so when we look at cleaning the liver, dandelion root is a very powerful substance that can help mobilize trash through the liver. Your lymphatic system, another very powerful. If I had the ability to take out your lymphatics, pop them, clean them like a rug against a tree, and then put them back in you, your body's health elements would be cured inside of about 5-10 minutes. Now, would you dirty them back up again? Of course you would. But can we really realistically do that in a world today when the body is, alive? No, we can't take your lymphatics out. So we have to use plants to bathe and nourish the tissues and stimulate the body to purge unwanted debris that's been stuck up in there.
And this product is stuff that you can get at your store, right? Like if I went in there, I could get the Dandy blend.
That's right. We sell little packets that you can take with you on the road that are already sealed up, just tear and go. You've got this one you're looking at is 100 scoops. There's a 200 scoops. And, these all are drinks that we use when we're at the office doing detoxes. So, when we were up at the plant, we were talking to about 5 different PhDs, 2 different medical doctors, and the, some of the key players in the development of the research facility up there for Standard Process. And the message that I got, is what I've been teaching. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan.
Okay.
And what that means is we are all victims of bioaccumulation, environmental stress, mental stress, physical stress, and our bodies over time accumulate unwanted debris and toxins. Some people oxidize better than others, some people don't, and some people detox better than others, some people don't. And what winds up happening is we've got to encourage people in this day to take the time to take a vacation from stimulants, rocket fuel, artificial sugars, partially hydrogenated oil, high fructose corn syrup, enriched flours, fake food. Because when you're eating enough Frankenfood, the best you'll ever have is make-believe health. And we want to help people live better, be better, and stay better one bite at a time, and enjoy and utilize some of these detox methods. So I think if you take your car into the shop every, 5,000, 10,000 miles, however long your car lets you go between oil changes, or just a rotation of the tires, you do these little upkeeps on the car. And a lot of people take better care of their car. People take way better care of their pets than they take care of themselves. And so we're trying to encourage people and teach people, hey, take care of your body. Allow your body the revitalization, regenerative restoration that it deserves, because this is the only one you got. You get 2 sets of teeth. You only have 1 set of organs. Now they do constantly regenerate new cells and stuff like that. But what kind of cells are you growing? If you don't have a good nutritional intake, if you're nutritionally deficient, your cells aren't going to grow back healthy. And detox is an easy, safe way to make sure that you're moving your body forward.
That when we first met, one of the first things that you and I talked about I think it maybe had been one of our very first shows here on KHEA radio, was that you came from a different area and then you were kind of studying people and their effects on the environment. Then you came here and you found out that people, because of what's in our air here in Texas City, the area,
Bayport, LaPorte,
right?
I mean, all of it.
It's affecting
Pasadena.
how we detox and what comes into our system just by being in this area, correct?
That's right. So whenever I was up on the north side of town when I first moved down to South Shore, I was up near Cypress. So what do they have? A bunch around Cypress, Tomball. They have really big trees, and they don't have as many chemical plants, and they don't have all the air pollution that we have. And so when I moved down to South Shore initially, I was wondering why it was taking me 2 times longer to get people better. And that was what really started to open my eyes to the reality of toxicity is all around us, not just in our food. It's in our air. I mean, Lord, look, us sitting around all this technology, the Wi-Fi, we're inside the largest biological experiment going on in the world right now. If you got a laptop sitting on your legs right now, you're potentially messing with your pelvic organs. And I think that might be a contributing factor to infertility, prostate issues, lower digestive issues, bloating, because you're using, you're putting a battery right on your body constantly. And people walk around like this. We have cell phones up to our head, and the Wi-Fi does play a part. The electromagnetic pollution does play a part in our detox. The air quality. They say that down here in Texas City, the way the air comes off the Gulf, it recycles dirty air. So people are just they're breathing in poor quality air down here.
You're listening to 99.5 FM KHEA radio. We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa, who is from the Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. And, Dr. Chapa, that's kind of been the one thing that I've noticed here. I grew up and I never had a single allergy in my entire life. And I got to Texas and instantly allergies, And I couldn't figure out, nothing had changed. My diet hadn't changed, but the air, I think, caused a little bit of that. And I have noticed when I'm eating better, when I'm doing better, that those allergies aren't there.
Yeah. So when people come in to see us for all kinds of challenges. I mean, whether it's energy crises, whether it's headaches, migraines, whether it's allergies, itchy, watery eyes, or drippy down the back of your throat, chronic coughs. I had a lady just last week. And so y'all have heard me say, what you eat is important, but what you don't eat is more important.
Right.
So when we get people on board with this mindset, I had a lady, it took us 4 weeks to get her to get off of dairy products. She was putting just a little creamer in her coffee, and she just couldn't buy the idea that little bit of creamer was causing her chronic cough. And within a week of finally getting her off of off of dairy creamer, her cough went away. And it was like night and day. And she was baffled. And then she got into, a week and a half later, some more, creamer in her coffee or some sort of dairy product, and her cough came right back. And she goes, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was such a reality that if you think of a bucket, right, and the closer you get to the top of the bucket, it overflows. Well, if the overflow is a representation of symptoms that you're not genetically born with, we have to ask the question, what's pushing you up close to the edge of that bucket lid? What can we do to reduce the amount of volume of stuff inside the bucket so that you don't pour out symptoms? And dairy products, milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, probably not the most popular conversation right here before Thanksgiving. But the reality is people are going to be in a sugar coma. People will get sick, just like they did after they got off of after Halloween, and because we overeat sugar, we overeat pies, we overeat carbs. We've never, ever in history, if you just go back and look at history will show we've never consumed the mass quantities of carbohydrates in the form of bread, rice, cereal, pasta, potatoes, corn that we consume today. There's over like 96 species of potato, but the average American only knows about 4 or 5.
Interesting.
Wow.
And so there is so much that we don't know about food. And I think some of it is, and if you look at even the education, these kids go into schools and they think ketchup is a tomato. They don't realize that if you show them a tomato, they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And I hate to say that, but it's a sad day whenever we don't know basic, food groups.
It is 9:00. You're listening to 99.5 FM, KHEAradio.com. Ethan, there's a question over there?
Yeah, we have a question from Rebecca. She says, "Good morning. Can my 2-year-old and my 6-year-old drink it?" I'm assuming she's talking about our Dandy Blend.
Yes,
drink
absolutely, Miss Rebecca. We would love for your babies to consume this stuff. And this is absolutely safe because, again, they have livers and they have lymphatics, and we want to purge and cleanse out any debris. A lot of times, we assume that just because little kids are little, that they can't do some of these natural remedies. But because this is a plant base, and this just literally, I have a friend in Santa Fe. He has dandelions all over his property out there, and this is a naturally occurring substance that is very useful for liver function and lymphatic function. And when there's congestion, whenever the kids just want a little healthy treat, man, totally mix it up, and you could potentially hide stuff in there, Rebecca, and like supplements and things like that. And it's another way of getting tools into your kids, and you just dress it up with the stevia, dress it up with the cinnamon and the vanilla, the almond milk, and have some fun figuring out, but get them involved. That's the one thing about when you're working with kids that I've learned is if I can get my kids involved in the preparation process or the cooking process, they are more apt to eat the food that is prepared because they had a hand in the game. They are proud of their labor. And so a lot of times when I make stuff for my kids, if I don't get them involved, they don't finish it. They don't really start it. They fight me a little bit on it. So I've found, and working with many patients, that if I get the kids involved in helping me or helping their mom make their drinks or their shakes or their food, they are more apt to enjoy the health benefits of it. So
This is really good stuff. Thank you, Rebecca, for that awesome question. If you have a question for Dr. Aaron Chapa, maybe you are planning to, get some Thanksgiving meals ready to go, then today might be the time to ask that question. You can give us a call at 346-704-1806. Dr. Chapa, really fast here. What can somebody do? I saw an article last week. It was Thursday, and they were talking about how there was this gentleman who went to the doctor, and he was actually like having fluid come out of his nose, and they're like, "Hey, that's your brain fluid that was coming out of his nose." It was an interesting article because last Thursday, I just had constant drainage happening. And I took some allergy Plex and some other stuff to help combat that. But is that normal for brain fluid to be happening like that?
I would probably need to read the article myself to know for certain. But the reality is probably not. It's probably not brain fluid coming out of their nose unless there was some kind of trauma involved. It is mucus, and mucus is a protective substance that your body produces in order to help your system, those mucous membranes, not get infected. And they're also helping your body to purge out unwanted debris or protect any unwanted debris from getting deep inside the tissues. And so I would say for sure, it's not normal, not common, but there's always a driving force. There's something causing it to get in the body or causing that reaction in your body. We call that a catarrhal response. And it can happen with food. It can happen with environment. And so one of the things that we always look at is what is it that we're dealing with and how often does it occur? Is it happening every day? Is it happening every week? Is it something that randomly happens once a month, once a quarter? Is it only once a year during allergy season? Because when you find that allergies only during allergy season is affecting you, it's easy to blame the environment. It's easy to blame the weather. But one of the things that we know is if we can get your health and vitality to be stronger, what will begin to happen is you will purge out unwanted debris. And if we can get the food under control, if we can teach you that wheat, dairy, corn, soy, if we can teach you that you're getting into certain foods, you bring us a food log and we evaluate that thing and show you how much sugar you're getting into in the form of converted carbs, or that you're getting into an obvious sugar or obvious inflammatory foods to us, but maybe not to you yet. Then all of a sudden your body won't produce this excess mucus. I've had patients that have come in that had scheduled sinus surgeries. They were going to get their roto-rooter, so to speak, sinuses drilled out. And within a week of getting them off of their food allergens, all of a sudden they don't have that problem. And you got to think about the body. The body is a huge system-based process. There's 25 different systems in the body. And these systems are needing to be cleansed and overhauled and tweaked all the time, maintained. And so we do what's called sequential immune upregulation processes in the office. And when we have these sequential immune upregulation programs going, people come in with staph, strep that they don't even know they have. And we can encourage the body to go look for stealth pathogens through immunological upregulation, and we can purge out old infections that they've been carrying around for years.
The funny thing about some of the conversation that we've been having is I have that conversation now every time I go out to eat with somebody, or if I'm out and I see somebody eating, I'm like, how can you eat that much fast food? How can you eat that much garbage? Because your body, and they're like, well, I'm having this like pain in my stomach. I'm like, yeah, because you're eating that. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. No, I'm dead serious. So I feel like I've started to become a little miniature Dr. Aaron Chapa.
Well, I think
in a way that still I eat cheese.
Well, but you're getting there.
Close.
They say that if you can name a thing, you can control a thing. It's only a matter of time before you listen to your body enough and say, you know what, maybe there's some truth to this crazy. And so that's where it starts. It starts with an idea. Then you experiment with the idea, and a man with an experience always has trumped somebody with a argument. And so experiences are why I'm in business and why I'm in practice. I've seen so many patients come into my office and they have had symptoms that they weren't genetically born with, and they have suffered for years and years and years. They were on all kinds of different medications. They had allergy shots regularly, or they had, they took the Tums and the antacids and the thises and that's to relieve belly pain. But now I teach people, hey, when you got belly pain, let's do some chamomile marshmallow, or hey, let's do some Cataplex AC to stimulate the immune system in the gut to clean up whatever's down there. Or let's do some gut restoration. If you've got leaky gut, if you've heard of that, where you've got undigested debris that is getting into pathogens that are getting in across the gut barrier into your bloodstream, creating and wreaking havoc in the blood supply, that is never good. And so doing a gut restoration program, a very powerful tool. You could easily, if I was just a throwing dart kind of a guy and I cookie cuttered everything, I could do a digestive program with anybody and get them, and they would see improvement. I could do a liver program with anybody and get them better, because there's so many systems that are affected by the gut and the liver. And I think that's where we went wrong in medicine, is we got so specialized. Now, granted, if I had a major brain trauma situation, and I would want somebody that was specialized, but I think that we can't assume that the brain doesn't have anything to do with your digestive tract. We can't assume that your liver or your joints aren't, in cahoots together. Like, everything works together. And so it's like when we get so specialized in one specific area, we miss the idea that we're working on a human being that has a whole. Like, what part of the watch tells time, right?
Right.
I mean, the watch has to be completely put together or it doesn't work. And it's
that one little thing that can make it so it no longer ticks.
That's correct.
It's small.
And it is small. And that's why, in the olden days, they would have watchmakers, and they probably still have watch fixers on the street. I remember, growing up, I'd see that kind of stuff. So I see a question here about, somebody had some information. They wanted to help on keto. So, I've heard different pros and cons about keto. Is it healthy? to put your body through constant ketosis? Well, it depends on what constant ketosis is. All right. So ketoacidosis, by the way, is not the same thing as ketosis. So ketoacidosis is a metabolic, situation that people always mistakenly associate with ketogenic dieting. So what a ketogenic diet is, if you look at it fundamentally, what you eat is important, but what you don't eat is more important. So we're taking away certain inflammatory foods on a keto diet. And so to live in a constant state of ketosis, for long periods of time, it depends. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I went over 200 days in a ketogenic diet in ketosis, and where you're looking at the ketones in your urine, you're looking, you're assessing your pH and making sure everything's working like it's supposed to. And to me, I felt great. Mental clarity was good. Body felt good. I was lean, doing exactly what I want. I use the ketogenic diet as a tool. When a person, if I came in every visit and put everybody on a ketogenic diet, that's not what my practice has shown me works. I use it as a tool for certain blood types. I use it for a tool for certain situations and how extreme they are. If somebody's got an irritated gut lining, I'm not sure that putting them on a lot of pork and a lot of red meat is necessarily a great idea. I would rather fix the gut first and remove some of the obvious inflammatory foods, especially if somebody's got something as severe as ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Some of these conditions that people walk in my office with, if I start too aggressive with the diet, they can put them into what they call the keto flu, and people get discouraged about that. And so I can always talk them through that on the front end so they don't think it's a problem, but nobody likes having headaches at work. Nobody likes feeling flu-like symptoms, but it never ceases to amaze me how powerful a keto diet is. I'm absolutely a fan and think that it is a fast way to move your body into a metabolic state where you're getting rid of inflammation and you're helping your body jumpstart your blood sugar pathways, getting the body a rest whenever you're insulin resistant and needing, medication to regulate your blood sugar. Keto can be a wonderful tool to pull you back into a balance, and I think it is healthy.
It is 9:12. You're listening to KHEAradio.com and KHEA at 99.5 FM. We did lose our Facebook feed.
Whoa,
so
what
we
happened?
apologize for that. I think what I'm seeing is that Facebook shut down for just a little bit. Like a couple people were saying, hey, Facebook disappeared. And when Facebook has an issue,
the world has an issue.
Oh, it kills our stream. So we're still streaming live right now on our YouTube channel. So you can search if you're listening in your car, if you're at home, and you're like, hey, I really want to see behind the scenes what it looks like at KHEA Radio. You can do so. Search on YouTube, KHEA Radio. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and you'll actually get notified every time we go live, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa from the Living Well Nutritional Center in League City in Old Downtown.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little area, beautiful big old trees. We have some resurrection ferns that on the outside of the trees. Every time it rains, they blossom.
I love driving down Main Street and looking over, and I'm like, hey, there's Dr. And I always look for your truck. I'm like, is he in there? Is he there?
Well, I always park in the back.
I try to look.
But I appreciate that. It makes me excited. You can always honk.
Next time I will.
Hey,
if I do a two honk, if I go, you're going to be like, oh, that's Curt.
That's right.
If you hear you can probably hear my car, my Jeep Compass coming before the honks.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, it's pretty
really loud exhaust on there, huh?
I need to get it maybe checked up.
Yeah, maybe it needs a tune-up.
It needs a.
You need a tune-up.
Oh,
Dr. Chapa, when you were talking about how most people take care of their cars better than their bodies earlier, the first thing that came to mind was, are you sure about Curt?
That might be. You're right, Ethan. You're right.
You can't make generalized statements like that, right? Like you can't just assume that everybody's
just sitting right in front of me. Thinking,
I change my oil in my body at least less than 11,000 miles every day.
At least less.
And my car, 12, 13,000 miles later.
Oh man. I tell you what. So, here I always find this eating thing a very interesting realm. Mine actually just popped back up, maybe. No, I don't know.
Weird.
Yes, technology is cool, except when it doesn't work, right? That's just the way it
Facebook.
goes. But I always find it interesting, this diet thing, because people always look at dieting and they think of negative connotations. Instead, we've got to change that, paradigm a little bit and say, when it comes to eating food, I am going to enjoy my holiday. But in my family, I do steer towards the healthier versions of foods. Like we have, I make a grain-free stuffing that's really fantastic. I have turkey, ham. Sometimes there's brisket and ribs, depending on which side of the family we're going to. One year we had seafood, and crabs, and oh man, I love some crab legs. But I steer away from all the grains that are traditionally present or starches, and it's primarily because when you feel that, I personally don't like that blood sugar drop when I get sleepy afterwards. I want to go play with my kids. I want to go chase the little nieces and nephews around. I want to experience the family, time off, because we don't see these people, year round all the time. So why do I want to eat myself into a coma where I'm not hanging out with my family? Now, I know some of you guys out there might be thinking, well, I don't necessarily want to even be here at my family's thing. Well, that might be true, but that's the answer to a different question. And so if there's stress every time that you're around family, we have great protocols to help your body manage stress. We use a product in our office that's loaded with ashwagandha and rhamania and herbals, adaptogens that will strengthen the adrenal glands. And when you strengthen your adrenal glands, there's your stress management center of the body. They will help your body regulate cortisol. They also help your body regulate adrenaline and norepinephrine, and make your body handle stress better. Oh, there goes the taco. Not that we're eating tacos on the show. We're just still drinking Dandy Blend.
Gardy's better at that than me. I just thought I'd hit it once.
Well, once. So, but anyway, it don't look at dieting like a something that you hate or disdain. Find the way to make it fun. There's so many recipes out there today. The average American's consuming 11 meals, and if those 11 meals are killing you, then let's eat 11 different meals. Let's find a new set of 11 that you can start changing your genetic code, your history, because it is possible. And when people come in even with genetic tendencies towards high cholesterol, we find that 95% of the people walking around with high cholesterol, it's not genetic. It is not your mom's fault. It's not your dad's fault. You don't necessarily need to be on statin drugs. But here's the thing. If you're not going to do anything, then you might need medical intervention. But that's where we come in. We give people alternatives to drugs and surgery, and we give people tools to find new solutions on why their body is breaking down. And that's why we believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, because food drives us to be healthy, or food drives us to be sick. So I want you to be healthy. I want you to be strong and vibrant. I want your kids to be strong and vibrant. And you don't have to suffer with health complaints that you were born with, or not genetically born with, because 90% of the time you weren't.
Right.
It's something that we've developed over the years.
So this Thanksgiving, a lot of people are like, I've been prepping, I've been waiting, been building up for this moment. I'm just gonna load up food. And I remember a couple of years ago in 2011 or so, I interviewed a doctor after someone was gonna take down like a 40-ounce cheeseburger, right? Like this massive 6 patties.
Right.
It's got like peanut butter, and it's called the Stellinator.
The Stellinator.
I tried it. I got like halfway and I couldn't do it. But anyways, the doctor said, like, when you put that much food in your body, there are complications that happen. Like, you can train as much as you want or not eat as much as you want, diet as much as you want, building up for Thanksgiving. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to load up on all this food. It can be dangerous. You're talking about like overeating at your local restaurant times like 1,000, like it can be bad for you.
I mean, if you think about it, we supersize fries, we supersize drinks, which the drinks are all laden with high fructose corn syrup or artificial sugars. The supersized fries are loaded with partially hydrogenated oil, bad oils. And a lot of times, many people don't realize this, but they even there's gluten on those. I mean, there's enriched wheat flour, bleached flour on your fries in a low quantity. So there are the 4 deadly food additives at all of our fast food joints. I mean, it's just impossible to not, with all the the speed at which they're coming at you, the mass quantity they have. There's no preservation. I mean, they're all preservation, and we don't need to be consuming all this preservation based foods. We need real food. We need food that will spoil. We need foods that will go bad, and that means we have to get to the house and clean it up. I was looking at a study the other day that we're eating out, as a statistic, more than we are eating in the homes these days.
That's crazy. I mean,
that's very crazy.
For me, though, and it was interesting because we did that 21-day cleanse, right? And I'm one of those people that, I'm by myself. I'm not buying a whole lot of groceries. But for me, it's easier to be like, I can go down and get, something quick, and then I don't have to cook it. Like I don't have to.
Convenience.
It's not gonna go bad, like it's not gonna sit in my fridge. Because you know how hard it is to like buy a loaf of bread, right? I'm not going to eat a whole loaf of bread in a week. And a week is bad, So it's like, okay, why am I buying this loaf of bread? Why am I buying this, this item when I know for sure, like, hey, in a week, gallon of milk, right? For me, I can't drink a gallon of milk before it goes bad.
Well, but think about this too. What are they feeding those cows that we, get that we're eating? What are we feeding the cow that's producing the milk? And what happens is they're feeding the cow grain when it should be feeding on grass. When we feed, chickens the wrong type of food, we get, there's people I have that come in my office that have soy allergies so bad they can't even feed the chicken soy or they will get a reaction. Now, when you have these severe reactions to wheat, dairy, corn, soy, or if you even have obscure allergies to onions and garlic and cucumber and avocado and things of that nature, I feel sorry for you, but I can help you. And so one of the things that we know is the liver is absolutely congested and it needs fuel. We have to decongest the liver. We have to do a detox and make the body restore itself, because that's the only solution you got. You can't take out your liver and get another one very effectively. I mean, you've ever seen the wait line for a liver transplant?
I don't even want to guess.
No, you don't want to guess. But not even that. You don't want to be in a situation where you have to depend on your body accepting or rejecting, a liver.
It is 9:22. We got about 7 more minutes or so left of Kickstart. We are ending early today because I have to take somebody to the airport at 10 o'clock. So I have to get going here. And then we're actually going on vacation for Thanksgiving.
Where are you going?
Myself, I haven't decided yet. I have about like 8 invitations, and part of me just wants to like go and travel the world. I don't know.
You should totally travel the world.
I think we still have to be here on Friday. We have not been told whether or not that we have to be here or not on Black Friday. So my assumption is I don't get to go anywhere on Thanksgiving, but that's just part of being what we're doing.
I'm excited. I get to go see family that I haven't seen in like 10 years for Thanksgiving. So I'm excited to do that.
We do have a question. So we are still live streaming. Our Facebook feed went down for the day, and I blame Mark Zuckerberg for that. But we are streaming live on YouTube. And Ethan, we have a question that came in, right?
Yes. Kaylee Campbell says, "Hey,
Kelly.
is it?" Oh,
it says Kelly.
I'm sorry. I'm homeschooled. Kelly Campbell says, "Hey, is there something that we can take to protect against what we might indulge on this week?"
Absolutely. So digestive enzymes, stomach acids, and B vitamins. So in our office, we use digestive enzymes. We use a product called Enzicor or D-Digest. D-Digest is nice because it has the stomach acid and the enzyme blend. The Enzicor is going to be more digestive protective, as well as the enzymes to break down the food. And then the Cataplex B or Ortho B, what these products do is help your body regulate the sugar influx that's going to happen from the pies and the overindulgence of fruit or alcohol or whatever people are getting into. And so if there is alcohol involved in your Thanksgiving feast, you want to take something called Livaplex for liver. And what it does is help your body get rid of or clear these toxins faster. And so whenever people travel, that's another thing that we do. When we sit around a table and we're out to eat at a restaurant, we pass Zypan around, which is a stomach acid, or D-digest around. And these are products that support the stomach and give the stomach tools to break down the food better. And the enzymes in the intestines help it break down further so that it can be absorbed more effectively. Because you're only as good as the food that you absorb. You ever think about that? I mean, you could eat the healthiest food ever, but if you don't digest it well, then you don't absorb it well, and then you become nutritional deficient, and that drives disease and problems. And so we use, like I said, the D-digest would be a really great substance because it's got the HCl and the enzymes blended together. The Livaplex, if you feel like you don't digest heavy food well, or if there's going to be alcohol involved in your meal, and that would be and the B vitamins if you plan on getting into the sugary stuff, the cookies, the candies, the cakes, the pies, that this is and that. So excellent question.
So what you're saying is you're not what you eat, you are what you absorb. Right?
You are what you absorb.
Yeah.
That's right. I like that.
You're gonna use that from now on.
I am.
Thanks, Ethan, for that. Hey,
actually, I do use that. I've said that many times. That's awesome. I'm proud of you.
We got about 4 more minutes left here on KHEA Radio. Dr. Chapa, we were talking about Thanksgiving. Do you have a favorite food for Thanksgiving that you're like, you know what, I cannot live without that food?
I mean, for me, like, I want the turkey leg. I love turkey legs.
And that's healthy.
Well, I mean, it just happens to be one of my favorite things to do. Now, if you want to know my favorite, like, sweet treat, it would be like a pumpkin pie or a pecan pie.
And can you indulge in that once? Like, like having that.
I mean, I'm not there yet. So I'm not like for me doing this for so long, like I'm really, people are like, there's no way I could ever be like that. I never thought I'd be like that either, but I don't have cravings for sweets and things. Like they just don't call to me. You know what I mean? But if I had my choice of things that I know that I would enjoy, I love chocolate. When I go down to Bella Greens, they have a gluten-free chocolate brownie that is absolutely heaven. I also like they have a gluten-free carrot cake that rocks my world. Love that. And but around the Thanksgiving time frame, I'd probably say, like right now, if there's something that was calling, my mom makes this really nice apple crisp, pie, and it's all fresh apples. Like there's no fake stuff in it. And it's all fresh apples. And she's been making it long before, like, I was even into healthy stuff. It was just, she had this really cool apple peeler, and she would peel apples, and it was amazing. And so that sounds really lovely, honestly. Maybe if she's listening, well, I don't know if she can, unless she's on the radio.
KHEAradio.com.
You've got to go back and listen to this. So, yeah, absolutely. What about you? What's your favorite?
The mac and cheese. I don't think it's Thanksgiving without mac and cheese for me. I got to have that.
Really?
That is my thing.
Man, I haven't had mac and cheese in ages.
Oh my gosh. Mac and cheese, I'm a cheese guy. It's so hard.
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan?
Is mac and cheese even like a Thanksgiving food? I don't know.
They definitely had that on the first Thanksgiving, all right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was listening to, so this is my last little thing, and I'll just kind of propose it to the world. Sorry, Facebook, if you're missing it. But here's the thing. This is, our time to be thankful. And so, mostly what I'm thankful for is Christ in my life, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I love my Lord and Savior. And I've been, contemplating my place in the universe as of late, and how I can be used as a better vessel for the Lord, and how I can use that to be a better husband, how I can use that to be a better father, how I can use that to be a better friend and a better doctor, preferably in those orders. And I've been really working this over, and not to get too deep into theological stuff, but we have to be in union with the Lord in order to be used by Him, so we can hear His voice, and we can be a vessel for greater things. And I think we have to submit our will to his guidance and his direction. And so I've been really thankful that, God is patient with me. And because,
Amen.
I'm make mistakes all the time, and it's always a work in progress. And so my encouragement out there is, if you, if you got issues with family and things like that, I really want to challenge you to see if you can get to the bottom of it and see if you can bridge chasms that have been built for this reason or that. There's always reasons not to talk to people. There's always reasons not to associate with family. But I mean, family can be very special, and Thanksgiving and the holidays can be a really great and wonderful time because people do take the time off from the hustle and bustle of life. And so my encouragement out there is, what are you thankful for? Be thankful. Know that, God loves you, and that, food heals you, and, we care about how your day goes. And so my name is Dr. Aaron Chapa. This is Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. And you can visit us at our website, justlivewell.com, or you can give us a call, 281-554-8600. Hope you all have a fantastic, blessed week.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aaron Chapa, for coming in. It is 9:30. We're wrapping up Kickstart and KHEA Radio. We're going to be back next Monday morning at 8:30-ish. So make sure that you guys have a blessed week. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to your family, and make sure that you don't overeat.
And that's when we say, I guarantee nothing.
You guys have a good, blessed day, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next Monday.